I didn't have any quotas, so I knew I had to get into produce. So I started with the Vidalia onions, and then, I started growing greens. That was, most people in the wintertime was fishing and hunting, and I decided I was going to start planting collards and turnips and mustard and kale and cabbage and this type of stuff, so I'd have something to do in the wintertime. So that's how I really got into the greens business, and it's worked real good for me.
I started farming with Betty in 1989. Well, we grew all the southern veg, but so did everybody else. And we was trying to do something that everybody else wasn't doing. And it started out as just being on a very small scale. When I say small, I mean we're up to about 3,500 acres of greens now. When we started, we grew 5-10 acres. We'd wait a month, maybe grow 5 or 10 more acres, and it was just a cash flow.
So any of that cold weather that came through here, how did the greens and everything else come through all the bad weather?
It shocked them and knocked them back down a little bit, but as you can see here now, they've come back out of it and they're growing and doing good. So a collard and kale can stand a lot of that. Turnips and mustard, there's some different crops that we grow. Sometime it does worse than others, but overall we've done good with it. We've had a good growing season.
I'd say this has been the most unusual year on weather that I can ever remember. About a month ago, we had it come in here and it dropped down. It might have been the coldest temperature we had. We had a lot of our spring greens coming on then. Collards and kale, it didn't affect at all. Some of the mustard and turnips got bit just a little bit, but we were able to go in there, clean them up, and move forward.
Since we built the new processing plant, we have to have greens year-round. So we'll keep greens in Georgia 9 months out of the year, and then we'll have farms in other places, Florida, Virginia, Ohio, and places like that where we can grow greens in the summer months where we can't grow them in Georgia. We start planting collards. It depends on the type of weather we're having now. We can have it in 65 days, but in the wintertime, 90 days. You walk into a field and it'll be gone.
We grow collards and kale in Georgia 12 months out of the year, within about a 40 or 50 mile radius of where we're at now. Some years we can grow turnips and mustard 12 months out of the year. We've got a place in Palatka, Florida, and we'll go from January the 10th to April 1st. During the summer months, we go to a place in Willard, Ohio, where we grow a lot, mustard and turnips there, and we bring down. So, but most of the time, this is a unique area. We grow greens pretty much 12 months out of the year here.
When people started to understand that kale would destroy things in your body that were poisons and stuff like this, it's just been really picked up. And we used to grow maybe 10% kale, and now we're 50% kale, 50% collards, and the rest of it turnips and mustard. So
our biggest uptick will be Thanksgiving. Everybody wants greens for Thanksgiving. It's real family oriented. Christmas is another big tick. New Year's, and then Easter. That's going to be your the 4 times out of the year that you're going to ship the most volume. And we here in Georgia are fortunate because, we're right in, at Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, Easter. It's right in our prime.
I decided about 3 years ago I'd build my own plant and start packing my own label and putting my own greens in the bag so I could keep my greens business going. And we call it the Superfit label. John Williams, the guy that works for me, he does all my selling. He's my marketing manager. He has really put us on the map with the Superfit label because it has really took off and is doing real good. So I've got a lot of hope for the future with greens, with the bags.
As you saw the demand changing, you made the decision 3 years ago to go into your private label.
That's right, private label, the value added, ready to eat greens, we did. We've been blessed and been fortunate. We're in Kroger, we're in Winn-Dixie, in Harvey's and some of the Bilos, Piggly Wigglies, and some of your mom and pop IGAs also.